learning
Don't
everything
even.
we did
Don't
through,
even.
I know, we can't even bring it. Let me just, can I say
hate
this?
him.
Did you hear that he said today something along the lines of like, don't worry, in 2 weeks we're gonna go all back to normal?
Oh, he's been talking about that for like a day now or 2 days now. He's like thinking that we can't close everything down. Yes, motherfucker.
Actually, he has his numbers and the economy, and he actually knows nothing about. We can't even. I can't.
Now. I literally will go down that wormhole. My aunt and I tell you, it is like every time we sit down and we're watching the news, we're both just like, that dickhead, get the fuck off TV.
It's next level. It's truly next level bad. And oh my God, let's for just a quick second here. The other day when that news reporter gave him a fucking present wrapped up in a bow and said, "What would you offer to Americans who are scared in this time right now?" And he lashes out and he's like, "You're a bad reporter. Yeah." And it's like, I just handed you a fucking present wrapped in a bow. All you had to say was like, something nice, something comforting.
Like, on one hand, it's comical just because it's so outrageous, but on the other hand, it's like I am irate every single day because he's so moronic that he's literally endangering so many fucking lives, and already has. Like, he's delayed us being where we should and need to be because he just didn't think it was a big deal based off his own anecdotal bullshit that he thinks he knows everything. He tries to speak for doctors. He tries to speak for military
people. And people are dying now because they've taken his cocktail of malaria medication and fucking fish chlorophyll juice, whatever it is.
I know.
But the idea that someone hasn't stepped in and taken him, like, he needs to be taken out of his role for so many leading up to this. Pre-pandemic was bad enough for the past 3.5 years, but now we're in a place where people are actually dying in the world, and you're just up here with no one above you able to say, wait a second, he's not spewing factual information, even though he acts as he is. Like,
He's delusional. He's fucking delusional and self-aggrandizing and just the most horrible human being on the planet. Like,
and he is the most horrible because he's the most powerful. Like, if you wanted to go off being your social, whatever you fucking were, celebrity stardom, fine, go be a celebrity fake rich asshole. Fine, you're not really harming anybody.
Exactly. I'm sorry, how many times has he gone bankrupt? 6 times, but he's such a good businessman. Get the fuck out of here. I can't. So I just really hope that if anything, this has solidified his fate, that he will no longer be in office. I just really fucking hope so.
I hope that the case isn't that all of his supporters and followers for some reason believe that he's doing good in this time, because let me tell you,
if that's how they feel, they're the most moronic people as well. Sorry. I know that's okay. No, that's hard. That's hard because I understand how people can or could have originally, thought he would have been a different sort of president.
Right. He's something different. We don't want the same corrupt politics. He's a businessman. Maybe that's what
even though in the, primary.
He was grabbing pussies. He was grabbing pussies days before the election.
Oh my God. I know. It's just, so that's what I mean. It's like, it's hard for me to I try to talk to people who do support him. We have a mutual friend who supports him, which drives me.
I've got some friends, and every time I hear anything from them, I'm just like, can I throw you off a cliff yet?
But anytime I've tried to get into conversations of how do you think, okay, can you please tell me how you think he has improved anything? And what and how? In what way? Factual information can you tell me? And there is never a single thing. And then, then it comes out as, you're just a liberal and, you're elitist and whatever. And it's like, no, I'm going with the facts.
Yes,
the information that is there, not just following blindly to someone who really doesn't deserve my loyalty either.
I think, unfortunately, that if anything positive does ever come, like, okay, we've locked down, we've shut down this, people are getting money, whatever it may be, I feel like his followers assume that was all him. He did that all. And I know because a very good friend of mine, on our group text chat the other day said after the first shutdown and and the announcement that like families were going to be getting $1,200 to $2,000 or whatever, you know, they're figuring
and that
out.
is not everyone. And if you make a smaller amount, you don't get anything. So people who actually really need it get nothing at all.
Great news. Yes. I must preface this with, by the way, that about 3 days ago, I stopped watching like I just was like, it's too much.
It's too much, and it's very overwhelming, and it's
So I've not been watching the past couple of days.
This is what the issue is, though. Not just that, but people who are his supporters don't actually research what it is that they're saying, and they contradict themselves, and they don't actually do the legwork to figure out what's true and what's not. Because even, for example, the bill right now that's in Senate, or they're trying to pass, and it was denied by the Democrats, are trying to block it. It's because McConnell and all of his little cronies are trying to make it so that corporations are bailed out and there's not actual working people. And so the Democrats, they did block that. It's like, fuck you guys. People need this.
How is it that he's going to pick whatever billion-dollar industry companies to receive the bailout funds from?
But not their employees who work on the ground. It'll be for them and whatever they want to do with it for profit margins and for stock buybacks, as much as he says, I don't want that. I don't want stock buybacks. But you know they're going to fucking do that. And there's going to be a loophole. And that's what's going to happen. Exactly. So it's like, it just infuriates me because even the people that I love who support him, they don't do the research. They don't actually listen to facts. And so it's like, how can we move forward as a country if people aren't listening to actual factual information?
Agreed. So it feels like at some point, if you do not want to inform yourself, then you don't deserve a stance in the political field. Then step out of it. That's fine. You don't want to vote. You don't want to inform yourself. You don't want to stay current on what's actually going on. Then do us all a favor and go be silent. Don't go to the fucking polls and vote for Trump, who you know nothing about and you think he's doing something over here.
Right. I don't think people understand, the people who support him, how close we are to where we could slip into a dictatorial or authoritarian government with him at the helm. Like he's already trying to potentially. There's people speculating that potentially he's going to try and postpone the November general election because of coronavirus. Can't happen. We have to mail.
We could see all these things. We've talked about it for months over here. My brother Kelly and I, about seeing if it came to be that whomever the Democratic person, whoever won, that there was like a possibility that he just like won't leave the White House and that he he'll forge something.
Then it would have to be a military coup because people that are. And these are the things like. Especially for listeners later on, whatever, I have just been living in Nicaragua for the past 3 years, and I
wanted to get into all of this, but we just need like a deep dive with Savannah that's going to be like a 12-hour podcast series at like 2 hours air at a time or something.
No, I thought we
were going to get into that, but anyway.
So just I at least have a very acute awareness as to how that happens from whatever kind of government you had into dictatorship, because that is where Nicaragua is now, and that's their biggest threat currently. They've been there for years, but it's been like a docile one up until 2018. And then 2018, there was a big political, peaceful protest against the government, and they essentially opened fire and started killing people and sequestering, stealing people.
Shit.
Just crazy. I lived there throughout the entire fucking thing. And now with this coronavirus pandemic happening, they have done nothing. They've taken 0 steps. They weren't even talking about it. They've not closed borders. They've not closed schools. They've not officially closed businesses. Businesses are taking it on themselves. In fact, they're doing the exact contrary. They are holding parades against the coronavirus. It's a love parade.
Great. So kill everybody who goes to your parade because you don't realize it's spreading.
Not only that, they are holding kids' days to get everybody to come out together, bring families, go enjoy the day together. They are sending government officials door to door, no mask, no gloves or nothing, to talk to people and be very close to them, talking about what to do for coronavirus. Which
that's not the method. You can't do that method.
In certain ways, I would get it if they wanted to go like put flyers up around the rural neighborhoods, because not everybody there's not cell phone, there's not running water, there's not, you know, it's a different life. But going door to door to talk to people face to face and shaking their hands and trying to hug them, like, no.
That's the exact opposite. That's how this spreads. Are you just trying to kill all your people off?
I think they might be, quite honestly. There's literally, like, Tess, there's one really well functioning and like USA grade hospital in that country. All the rest are small local health centers. There are maybe 100 ventilators in that country, the entire country.
God, 100.
100, and we don't even know if they function. Here today, Governor Cuomo in New York says they have 7,000 ventilators just for New York, but they need 30,000.
Right.
So 100 for an entire fucking country that is already the most impoverished in Central America. I'm terrified. My boyfriend lives down there. His family lives there. My entire staff, my students. It's terrifying. And so then when I talk about Trump and this, you want to call it administration, whatever it is.
Yeah, right.
People, this is what I mean. I feel like people do not understand. They take for granted our democracy, and they don't understand how fragile it is if they continue on that road. And we could end up with someone like Daniel Ortega in Nicaragua, who claims to do things for the best of the people, who says he gets all these things done and puts on a good front and doesn't. So
he's just a showman. If he's anything like Trump, he's just a showman who people, you know, he's got his whatever it is, a quality about him that people are like, oh yeah, we want to watch this because.
Well, they're very different people, but yes, he had originally back in the 70s been a part of the 5-member like junta who took over the first dictator. But along the way, over the years, he just became more power hungry. And as he got elected back into office, like years and years later, since then has become
exactly what he was supposed to be fighting against.
Exactly. And now there's no term limits essentially, or they've like limited them. There's his
that's
wife.
The worst.
His wife is the vice president because they found a loophole. Yeah,
lovely. That's great. So that'll just keep on going on forever.
Yeah, come on. I can see Trump trying to get any one of his imbecile children as a VP.
Oh yeah, I can only imagine. I remember hearing so Kelly's sister is married to great guy. His name's Fungi. He's from Zimbabwe originally, and they had a very similar situation going on
Mugi,
in Zimbabwe.
Right? I think his last name.
Yes, I think that is his name, and it was something very similar. Corrupt, no terms. He's just been the president or the dictator or whatever he's called for like all of his life, and just. It's wild. And that's the scary thing is that Trump has already done so many things to lead us back in a backwards direction that people many fucking things. Get rid of the pandemic team. Just pretend that global warming doesn't exist, et cetera, et cetera. Like we've already moved very backwards on the scale of progression and getting things into a better world. Like we are absolutely regressing, and to have 4 more years of it, who knows where we could end up.
I'll have to become Laura Croft, and that'll be that.
Ooh, dude, I'll go back to Cambodia with you.
Yes, we can do that too. No.
We'll just run through temples and tombs all day. That'll be fun.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my God. But no, we're living in crazy times, people, and just what we ask is educate yourself, get educated. If you think you know about Trump, or just read into issues and read
news, not Breitbart, not those that are entirely biased. Find the most neutral plane you can. MSNBC, CNN is all right. BBC. Listen to those.
I love, and I mean, these might be a little, on the left-wing side, but like John Oliver, Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, I feel like is really informative about topics that you need to be informed about, and hopefully
he's hilarious.
He's hilarious, and
Colbert,
I don't think
all of them, but they are more, as much as I love them, and I definitely aligned with them, it is more skewed towards our mindset and our.
For sure, and I get that, but it's like, take a healthy dose in. If you take taken a bunch from this side, take a little from this side, and realize that we need to be somewhere in the middle.
I try to bring myself, occasionally I do put on Fox just so I know what's being said on the other side. Even though I cringe.
Oh, ditto.
But it's important. It's important to hear what they're hearing, you know?
That's all you got to do is really educate yourself at the end of the day, and then you can make informed decisions.
Exactly.